Hey, in this video, we'll be looking at how to use rows as a form to collect data and log that information on a table. Let's get started. We'll be using a time tracking scenario to demonstrate that. We have the input table right here. We'll need the date as an input along with the name of the person and the number of hours they want to log. To capture the date, I'm going to go ahead and use our date picker option right here. As for the name and hours, I'm going to use our regular input field here. In the log table, let's make sure we have the same data points that we want to capture as headers. Once we have that, let's go ahead and create a button that will help us execute these actions. I'm going to name that submit. As for the action, I'm going to choose the first option, which is create table from a range of cells. Let's select A1 to B3 as the range of cells from the input table right here. We'd want the first column to be its headers. In terms of the table behavior, we do want it to add new rows anytime somebody clicks the button. For the table destination, I'm going to go ahead and choose the A1 to C1 from the log table right here. Once this is set, we can go to more options, and I'm going to toggle the ability to show a custom feedback message. In this case, let's say I'm going to say time logged successfully. We can also toggle on the required cells and choose B1 to B3 to be mandatory for the button to be executed. Once this is good, you can go ahead and click the create button option right here. For testing purposes, I'm going to use yesterday's date. Let's say I'm going to add my own name and the number of hours to be 7. I'm going to hit submit, and you can see the data being logged right here. In case when publishing this as an internal tool, you wouldn't want this log table to be visible to others, you can go ahead and toggle this to be hidden, and also make sure you change this from a table to a form, and that way any of your other colleagues working on this tool would simultaneously be able to work on it as well. Once you have this, let's go ahead and click share. I'm going to go ahead and toggle the share privately option as I don't want it to be published to the entire world. Go ahead and copy the link, open an incognito, and load the app on the browser. And once you have the form right here, let's say we go ahead and change this to day before yesterday. I'm going to add somebody else's name here. And let's say this person worked for about 10 hours. Once you have that, you can hit submit. You will see the custom message down right here. Let's go back to the editor. I'm going to go ahead and close this dialog box right here. Say we want to create a report. I'm going to go ahead and create a new table, name that report. We can move this a little closer to the input right here. For a report, I'd imagine we'd need the name, the from date, along with the to date. To capture the name, I'm going to use the input field. As for the from and to, we can use our date picker to capture that data. I'm going to go ahead and use my own name for testing purposes. It could be starting from the 1st of January to the 31st. Once we have that, we can use our filter function to get the required data. I'm going to go ahead and say the first condition to be the name range to be equal to the data from B1. With our filter function, you can even combine multiple different conditions using the AND or the OR operator. In our case, we'll need the AND operator, so I'm going to use the asterisk and go ahead and say the date to be greater than and equal to the from date right here, another AND to reflect the date to be less than and equal to the to date. Once we have this, you can go ahead and click enter, open the filter data, and you will find that there's only one data point which is being filtered out right here. I'm going to go ahead and close this panel. We can go ahead and cut this particular formula, use our override function, get this formula right here, hit enter, and this is where you can find the report. I hope this video helps, and thanks for watching.